By the way, how many of you know about the UK and US editions of the Stormlight Archive? So these are the two different editions. Hey guys, and welcome back to my new video. I hope everyone's doing absolutely fine. For those who are new to my channel, I am Divyam and you will find book reviews, unboxings, vlogs and a lot many other fun stuff related to books and fandom. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you can hit the subscribe button. And now let's start with this video. So as we all know, the fourth book in the Stormlight Archive, that is The Rhythm of War, is releasing on 17th November 2020. So it's just a few days left now, and I wanted to make this video because I ended up buying the first three books and I have all the three editions that are mass market, paperback and hardcover. So a lot many people will be first time purchasing like Stormlight Archive now or maybe in the future. So I thought let's make a video for them, telling them about all the specifications about these books and which one will give them the best value. So I have all the three editions, that is The Way of Kings book 1 in Stormlight Archive. So I have that one in mass market, but I already had those in Golan's paperback editions, but I anyway got like the mass market because of its price drop, so I ended up buying that. But I have Words of Radiance in Golan's paperback editions and then Oathbringer book 3 in hardcover, and that is Tor Fantasy. So I have all the three books with me, so I'll start with The Way of Kings and we'll let you know all the details about the same. By the way, how many of you know about the UK and US editions of the Stormlight Archive? So these are the two different editions with two different covers and a lot many different covers for that matter. So the UK ones are Golan's editions, and that had like paperback and then comes straight paperback and in the end hardcover, and those are white editions with white spine that you can see over here, all the books by Brandon Sanderson. And then comes the Tor Fantasy that comes from like US, and these are US editions. All the three looks the same, and the first one in them is mass market paperback, and then comes trade paperback, and in the end comes the hardcover. So these are all the books that are under the purview of Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. So I have all the three books with me. So starting with The Way of Kings. So I have with me the Tor Fantasy edition, that is the US one of The Way of Kings, and it's the book 1 in the Stormlight Archive. So I already had like Golan's edition of The Way of Kings. I read it in the past, but I got a decent price drop on this one, so I ended up buying this. And I'm currently rereading this one, and I've already like finished 540 or 550 pages. So I'm rereading it, and I'm reading it on this edition. And those were the edition when it was so big, so they ended up like dividing them and making them in part 1 and part 2. So those are kept over here. And the Words of Radiance I have in the similar edition, those white editions. So I'll be talking more about those in a bit. So this is the first edition, that is the mass market paperback, and the hardcover of the same, that is The Way of Kings, will be having the similar cover. And that's not the case in white Golan's edition, where the trade paperback are different from the paperbacks and hardcovers are like different. I think hardcover and trade paperback are the same, and the paperbacks and trade paperbacks differs. So anyhow, so this is the book I have with me. As you can see, it's the Tor Fantasy, and I have so many Tor Fantasies, and I think you must have seen the Wheel of Time editions of my collection. So all those are like Tor Fantasy. So this is the first one, and if I have to check, the spine is here, and I've like as I've said, I've read 540 pages of the same till now. So the cracks, as you can see, because spine under mass market paperbacks is something that is under no one's hand, and you can't like control it. Even if you try to read it with caution, that it's gonna break. So this is the thing, and I've got like two big cracks, and I think two more will be there by the time I finish this book. That's the major drawback of mass market paperbacks, that it cracks, and that's one of the reasons that these are the editions that are for someone who wants to like try Brandon Sanderson's books, because this is the cheapest one in the market and you get whole book. So yeah, that is one of the things, that the spine cracks in this. And looking at the paper quality is totally fine, as you can see. And the Stormlight Archive is having so many illustrations. Let me find one in the very beginning. So the illustrations are like this, and as you can see, these are the illustrations here. So all the illustrations in this one are black and white, and that's the case the other editions as well. So I'm keeping it aside for a bit and let's see The Words of Radiance Part 1 and Part 2. So this is the book 2 of Brandon Sanderson's The Stormlight Archive, and this is the Part 1, Part 2, and it's the Collins editions, those white editions that you're seeing over there. And it's in two parts because the book is very big, like 1,000+ pages, all the three books, and the fourth one will be 1,000+ page as well. So looking at the size, they broke it down and they made it in two parts. So you can see two parts. These editions look amazing together. Like you can see already, I haven't kept like these two with that stack as of now, but I'll be keeping it, and these look amazing together because of the binding, and the other edition of Sanderson are of the same binding like Mistborn and all the others, and that's something that Tor Fantasy misses because the editions are not similar to one another, but these are the editions that are similar to one another. So that is one of the things. But these are paperbacks, and I've read the first one in Way of Kings in paperback, and I didn't see or face any like spine cracking or something like that, because in Golan's editions you get like bendable, or what you say, the spine is flexible, so you can easily read those, and that's one of the things that I liked about the same. If you're gonna reread again and again, the spine will eventually break, because that's one of the things that is not in our hand. So those were the white Golan's editions, and now I have hardcover, and that's my favorite because Tor Fantasy hardcovers are something that everyone loves, including me. So the third book, Oathbringer, and I have this hardcover over here. As you can see, it's a beautiful like illustration over here, and the trade paperback and the mass market paperback will be having the similar illustrations. But what's special in this edition is this colored illustrations. So these are the illustrations that are here in the back as well as in the front. So, and looking at the cover, if you are a big fan of maps, you can see there is the map of the place there the book is set, that is Rosar, and I'm totally in love with this edition, because let me just quickly remove this. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm not sure if you can see this blade over here, and it's engraved. So this is one of the things that is there on each of these like Stormlight hardcovers, and that's one of the things that I'm a big fan of. And look at this spine. So I ended up buying this one because I saw a big price drop, and I think I talked about this book in my last to last book haul as well. So that was one of the things, and I'm a big fan of hardcovers, and that too Tor Fantasy. So let's discuss what you should get and what gives the best value out of these editions. So I would recommend you to get like hardcovers if you liked reading the first one. So if you're first time reading, I would definitely recommend you to go for a mass market paperback, because that will give you an exposure about the story and about the plot. And if you are in the end interested in this series, and if you are liking this series, I would definitely recommend you to go for hardcovers, because hardcovers are something that will stay for longer, and there will be like 10 books in this series, and people like me will be rereading again and again when the next book comes. Like in 2 to 3 years, every book will come and every book will release, so there will be a reread again and again. So I would recommend you to go for a hardcover if you are into that series and you want to reread again, because these are the spines that can't take rereads again and again, because it will break, and it has already started like leaving its color. I don't know why, but here as you can see, the white is coming and blue is going. I don't know why. So I would recommend you to go for hardcovers if you want to reread again and again, and I'm looking forward to the first and second book in hardcover as well, because hardcovers are something that I'm looking forward to capture and get. So I'm looking forward to Rhythm of War in hardcover as well. That's the reason I'm yet to like pre-order the trade paperbacks. So yeah, talking about trade paperbacks, so I'm not having any trade paperback right now, but if I have to compare, so this is the size of a trade paperback, and if I have to compare it with the paperbacks, so yeah, that's how the trade paperback looks. And if you are getting a Brandon Sanderson's trade paperback, that comes in both Tor Fantasy and in Golan's editions, and currently Golan's is giving pre-orders in these editions, like in this size. So if you want, you can check the Rhythm of War in these type of editions, but I'm not getting it because I want to get hardcover, and I'm waiting for hardcovers to come in stock or maybe be available again. So that's the difference between paperback and trade paperback. These are flexible as well and it will not break. The spine will never break, because I have seen trade paperbacks and they never go out of like shape and size. So that's one of the things I like about the same. So Priory over here and A.B. de Villiers autobiography are both like trade paperbacks, and they are bigger in size, but they are super flexible, and that's one of the things that I liked about the same. So I would recommend you to get that one if you are sort on if you're sort on budget and you want to like explore Sanderson for the very first time. So you can get mass market Way of Kings, because you get whole book in the price of a single Golan's edition. And if you want to get Golan's edition, they look super amazing on yourself, like white editions, and the spine not easily breaks, and they look similar to each other. So for the ones who are into want to see their favorite author in the similar binding, can go for Golan's editions. And that's one of my favorite editions, because it matches with Mistborn, Warbreaker, Elantris, and all the books over there are of Sanderson, Arcanum Unbounded, so, and Steelheart for that matter. All are white editions, and though there are true fantasy covers in those as well, but the white editions, Golan's editions, are available easily, so you can get for those. And the best in value is this, but it's super costly, like 3 times mass market paperbacks price is the hardcover, and twice of these two is hardcover. So that's your choice in the end. If you want, you can get, but if you want to reread again and again, I would definitely recommend go for hardcover. So that was all in this video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, you can hit the like button, and you can comment down below which edition you would prefer in the Stormlight Archive, and if you have read this series and how much you love Brandon Sanderson, you can comment down below. So I'll be meeting you in my next video, and yeah, that was the video. And one more thing I'll say, that if you'd like me to do similar kind of a video with George R.R. Martin and Agatha Christie, because I have all the 3 editions, mass market, paperback, and hardcover of those authors, I'd be happy to do that. So you can comment down below and let me know if you'd like to see those videos. And you can share this video with your friends and family, and you can subscribe to my channel if not done already. And that's all from my side. I hope you're doing well and staying home, staying safe, and we'll be meeting you in a few days. Bye bye.